This is what I find distinctive about Ramez and his approach, that through all his experience, he has tried and tested so many different ways to help individuals and companies to sell. And as he has been looking at what really produces value, what is sustainable, what stays through the ups and downs of the economic landscape, more and more and more, Ramez is moving away and getting his people to move away from the small, easy, quick fix and looking at it from a system point of view, a process point of view. In a very senior way of looking at it is an engine. So it's about developing a whole sales engine. The distinction between an engine and a process is that a process is something that you can write up, put into a book, and it can go into what I like to call your morgue, where you got this exalted process, thought everything through, but nothing's happening after that. Whereas the sales engine is to take that process and put it into dynamic motion. And in that dynamic motion, there are so many things, so many elements that need to be put together. And when you have somebody who can guide and oversee that whole process, look at the necessary and sufficient conditions that need to come into existence, the sales coach, the champion, the different tools, the different techniques, the different processes, how reporting is happening, how targets are being met, and so on and so forth, that slowly the sales engine comes into existence. And that sales engine is the actual lifeblood of any business, whether the economy is doing well or it's not doing well. And when the economy is doing well, there's stiff competition. When the economy is not doing well, the competition even gets stiffer. So any which way you look at it, the sales engine approach allows those companies that see the wisdom in it to really focus on putting the components together in an elegant way, in a way in which things start to work in a systematic, step-by-step process. And at the end of the day, business or sales is not rocket science. It's not complicated, but you got to do the simple. You got to put the things in place in the correct recipe and make sure that you're tending, watching, inspecting the elements that you need to inspect in. So Ramez, real quick to wrap this up, can you tell us a little bit more about your sales engine process and how that works, and the components of it? So whatever can kind of, and is there any way in which people can find out more about this?
Absolutely. I've shared some elements. I'll tell you the biggest thing is many times companies self-diagnose.
Right.
And their diagnosis is, okay, we need this training.
Right.
And they will compare what we do with many other organizations, and again, a hit and run isn't going to work.
Right.
So the most important thing is to do what we call an as-is analysis. That's the first step in our sales engine, because it's the engine is running today.
Yeah.
It just needs tuning.
Yeah. Yes.
It just needs tuning.
Yes.
And the elements, some of them might be there, so it will change from organization to organization. Yes. But the way we go about diagnosing, the way we go about inspecting, so we can then work on the elements that need to be worked on. So whether it's whether it's the induction plan, whether it's the compensation plan, whether it's the even operation process, if that is not perfectly assessed or aligned, we would look at measuring and tracking performance. What are the metrics that the team is currently working with? What seems to be their what we call their activity, measuring their activities to then what are the level of skill and knowledge in these various areas: prospecting, presenting, following up, generating of referrals and leads and stuff like that. And then we would look at the skill of the sales leader and how do they keep the whole thing alive. So those are the various elements. And the best thing is, Rajesh, is people are invited to look up what we call the future of business to business selling and account management. I run several events, so look up our website, identify if there is something coming close to you, so you can participate. Come, have a quick inspection. We can call that an inspection. See what's working and what is it that might need some oiling or changing or upgrading with your current system, and then you decide on whether or not you want to do the uphaul or do the tune-up of your current engine.
Right.
So yeah, I would definitely invite organizations and people, leaders, company owners to attend our upcoming events to learn about what are the areas that they might need to consider.
So this is the last thought I want to leave you with. Now, if you have a car, for example, a Toyota or Mercedes, doesn't matter which one, and if you take that car to a garage and this guy promises to fix everything for you, probably he can fix it, and probably the reason why you're attracted to go there is because it's cheaper, it's ready access. There's not too much of you don't have to book an appointment and so on and so forth. But if you go to the company shop, for example, Toyota has its own service center. They have the whole diagnostics that they start with, and then from there they start putting together what are the things that have failed, what are likely to fail. Then they drop the whole plan and make sure that your vehicle is absolutely roadworthy and is going to take you where you want to go without any kind of mishaps on the way. So working with Ramez is like working with a master mechanic, and the master mechanic always starts with what is present in the present. A master mechanic is not interested in theory. A master mechanic is not interested in giving you the 7 bullet points of how to do this, that, or the other. A master mechanic says, hang on a second, let me open the hood, let me check what is working, what's not working, let me take stock, let me drop the whole thing, and then tell you, look, these are the strong points, these are the points we need to fix. And when we start putting all of these things together, the engine will become robust, tuned, and ready to take you where you want to go. Ramez Helou is the sales doctor. He's known as the sales doctor. I like to think of him as a master mechanic.